Nano Banana 2.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's literally happening now, I think, or just happened.
Yeah, it is Bill Clinton in a congressional hearing with text in the background saying House Committee on Oversight and Accountability hearing into the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Okay, you've answered my question on how well connected the Nano Banana model is to the internet. Very well connected.
Yeah, it was an impressive use case that blows everything else out of the water. All right, welcome back to Denoised. Addy, how you doing?
Hey, Joey. Saw you at the VES Awards.
I was doing some red carpet interviews, which we'll have a video coming out soon because I started asking everyone what they think about AI. A lot of expected answers, but a couple surprising, interesting ones.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of AI, this week we got another big product launch. Nano Banana Dose. And he's also holding up the two fingers. So this came out. My main question has been, obviously, Nano Banana 2 is going to be better than Nano Banana, the original. I've been trying to figure out where does this fit in Nano Banana 2 and Nano Banana Pro. Because it's called 2, not Pro.
It's funny, when I sent you the first text, your first question back is like, yeah, is it better? I was like,
I know.
Let's figure this out.
I've been living in Nano Banana Pro world. So I'm like, is it better than what I'm currently using? You've done some tests. I did a bunch of tests. I think the quick answer is it is Nano Banana Pro Lite. So it has a lot of features that Pro had, including it can source the web for current events, which Pro can do. It has much better real world knowledge. So if you reference like an actual place, it knows it, and I have some demos of that. But also Pro has that as well. So I think it's just kind of Pro Lite. It's literally half the price of Pro. So Pro is about 15 cents an image, and Nano Banana 2 is about 8 cents an image. So I think for the most part, I would run this. I'm going to test some other workflows on this now and see, because it's like if we get the performance, if we get the same output, but for half the cost and faster performance
times.
Yeah. My inference test times were actually kind of slow, but it's probably because everyone's using this right now and the servers are backed up. So I wouldn't put much weight on the speed right now, but it should be faster.
So to recap, you think that this is as good as Nano Banana Pro, but half the cost and perhaps even faster with maybe some additional improvements?
Yeah, we'll go through some tests. My biggest test is because we use Nano Banana Pro mostly for give it a bunch of reference images like a location and people and composite them together into a shot. That's our main use case. I didn't do a bunch of testing with that with Nano Banana 2, so that'll be kind of my next thing. But in the initial test, kind of quality, feature-wise, really, obviously way better than Nano Banana and on par in a lot of cases with Pro.
Let's get into the tests and then figure out what some of the things are that it's better at. And then I have a theory on the Google product strategy that I'll share with you. Yeah, so the good old 1970s busy New York street. So this was inspired by Joker 1, and I've been using this actually since Joker 1, the very early days of AI. Not Joker 2, not a big fan of that movie. And it's really complicated to do, right? So my prompt is very open-ended, and I let sort of the classifier-free guidance fill in the blanks on the model. So I just say busy 1970s street in New York in daylight, lots of people and lots of cars. That's it. And that's my whole prompt. You can put it through yourself and maybe get this exact same thing. All right. So the interesting thing, I think in general, this is better than Nano Banana Pro in that it is referencing more things from the 1970s than Nano Banana Pro did. Yeah,
everything that's standing out to me is all of these movie titles that it came. It's these are movies from the 1970s. Yeah.
It even got the logo of Shaft, the movie, right? And then on top of that, the outfits are correct on the people. The New York cab in that era is accurate, I think. It reminds me of that same car from Ghostbusters, whatever model that is.
Oh, whatever their station wagon.
Yeah, so it's like a car version of that as a cab, and I think that's accurate. Even that Greyhound bus, that is from that era. Right? So check.
It looks like New York. Feels like New York.
It's dirty. You have graffiti on the subway sign. You have a newspaper stall.
We have the subway entrance, and the subway signage looks accurate. The graffiti, everything's graffitied up, kind of like New York was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, we have a bunch of adult theaters and peep show stuff.
And that's what New York was in the 1970s, right? Yeah. Most of Manhattan was like this. Well, I will say this image still, I don't like it. Can I be honest? Here's why I don't like it. Because it's not the details. It's getting everything right, but the perspective is too damn clean and you don't see an intersection and it still doesn't look authentic, even though it's correct, if I'm making sense.
I kind of get what you're saying. I mean, also, you did give it a generic prompt.
Yeah.
So, like, if you wanted an intersection, then you could prompt an intersection. I'm looking back in the distance here. So, I mean, the text is falling apart in the signs in the way back. But, yeah, I mean, look, compared to, what did we run this on last week? Red Fire,
Fire Red, we ran it on, yeah.
Fire Red.
So much better than Fire Red.
Yeah, I mean, it's
night and day.
Yeah, blows it out of the water.
I actually ran it on Seedance 5 Lite, which also came out, and gosh, it was such a joke. Like, I don't even know what that model's for.
Oh, you did not like Seedance 5?
I was trying to get the same thing out of it, and I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for New York. All right.
Maybe Beijing or something. I don't know. It'll nail it.
Right. I think, I think to what you're saying about it having better real world knowledge and possibly surpassing Nano Banana Pro, I think that's on point.
What's your theory on why that is?
I'm guessing it's a newer model that's trained on more current data. While we're out talking about current event stuff, let me just jump to the test that ran that. So basically, the model has two things. It has better real world knowledge, and then it has a parameter where you could turn on web search and it could access the web and kind of research current events or past events or just like access web knowledge.
How do you do that? Through prompting?
Good question, because this is through the API. I'm guessing if you're in Gemini and it's making a decision in your prompt based on if it should source the web. In the API, it's like an actual like parameter. You can say true, false, like turn it on. Good question about if you're using this in Gemini itself, but it is possible. I'm assuming Gemini will figure out if it needs to access the web and utilize that.
I'm guessing it's ever connected to the web. Like it's not disconnected at any point, right?
Well, you need the web to make it. Like they can't run this local.
I'm talking about like almost like a RAG, like a retrieval augmentation system where it's constantly pulling from the web for information. Just a guess.
I mean, I was guessing it was just querying like some Google results or something and then kind of looking at that for whatever based on the inquiry.
It would be interesting to then generate images based on the current news cycle for the day every day and see if that changes.
Well,
okay.
Hold on. So first up, we'll come back to news, real world knowledge. I had a test prompt that was LA centric, aerial photograph of Randy's Donuts, which even if you haven't been to LA, you probably are familiar with what that looks like. This was Nano Banana 1, which did not have real world knowledge. And so this is a very generic looking building that kind of looks like LA-ish, but it looks nothing like actual Randy's Donuts. It's just a building with a giant donut on top. This is Nano Banana 2.
Oh, I was going to say, is that an actual photo? I was like, oh, shit.
This looks like the actual real Randy's. It has big Randy's Donuts. It's on a corner of a street, which really is. I think it's probably a cleaner looking version of the street than it really is. But yeah, this looks like it. And this is Nano Banana Pro, which I don't have. I should probably look up what the real image looks like to compare it. But these two, I mean, as far as this donut sign and the text, get it pretty right.
I thought the donut itself was a dark brown color, but I haven't been there in a while.
One?
Yeah. I think that's more accurate.
Yeah. Also, didn't it actually change?
Yeah, right. I mean, this is in your part of town, not mine. So you tell me. I think
I'm going to say I drove by it like a month or two ago, and it wasn't Randy's anymore. It was some other donut shop. Regardless,
got acquired by private equity. It's what I was going to say was you think it references the Google Maps imagery?
I think this part, I think it's in the model. I think the model itself has just more world training up to some certain point. I think that's in the model itself, because also this isn't a parameter that you can turn on or off. This is, you give the model a prompt, it has real world understanding. So I think it's just it's just all the data that it's trained on. It just knows it.
I mean, this is so solid for like if you're writing a news article about Randy's Donuts and you forgot to take a photo of the place, you just generate it and add it to your news article.
Sort of. I mean, that doesn't feel like that's open.
That's not journalism at that point.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
People are doing it. I'm just saying, hey, I'm not a journalism major.
I do not doubt that. Other one was the 4th Street Bridge. This was Nano Banana, which looks like LA.
It's too clean.
Bridge.
It's too clean. Yeah.
But the 4th Street Bridge has the new ridges,
Oh,
the
no,
arches.
my friend.
This is
Let me school you on LA
incorrect?
stuff.
Is that incorrect?
You are so incorrect. So the last one could have been either 4th or 3rd Street. Yes, they both look like that. But this one is 6th Street. And it is completely incorrect. Those arches are actually slightly tapered and angled like this, if you're looking at my arms, not straight up perpendicular. Yeah, so it got it
Not
completely
this one either.
Oh, I schooled Joey on LA. Yes.
Yeah, all right. I thought I just took its word for it.
No, this is not right.
The prompt was the 4th Street Bridge in downtown Los Angeles at golden hour show the specific Art Deco concrete arches of the bridge spanning the LA River.
You confused the model. If you had said 6th Street Bridge with contemporary arches, it probably would have nailed. Because the 4th Street Bridge is, it's like 100 years old. It's old, but this one is brand new. They just finished it like 2 years ago.
Right. I thought that was this one. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
All right. Okay. So it all got
It's user error, my friend. Don't blame the model.
But now let me go to, I'll talk about the web search stuff. So prompt was create a photorealistic editorial news photograph depicting the biggest news story in the United States today, February 27th, 2026.
Okay.
Nano Banana Pro had this, which is also a bit weird. It's kind of generic, like protesting in front of the White House for vote and democracy, which is topics that have been relevant in the last year or so. But I wouldn't say like
this could be used for any day of the week.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's specific to
right?
today. Yeah. Nano Banana doesn't have that option. And so Nano Banana just made up something else, also kind of similar topical stuff over the past year or two. Nano Banana 2.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's literally happening now, I think, or just happened.
Yeah, it is. Bill Clinton in a congressional hearing with text in the background saying House Committee on Oversight and Accountability hearing into the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Okay, you've answered my question on how well connected the Nano Banana model is to the internet. Very well connected.
Yeah. Yes. So this is pretty wild. This has probably been the most impressive use case that blows everything else out of the water that I've seen.
Dude, there are so many interesting things that can come out of this if you have an image model that is fully aware of the latest and news cycle. You can automate YouTube content for one.
Yeah, I mean, you can do out of the image. That's cool too. I mean, yeah, you could still do that now. I mean, getting out of an image is pretty cool because you could have done something where you have like an LLM source the web and then create a text prompt.
Yeah, you can do it manually, but
that.
I'm not creative enough to like think of novel use cases, but this is really powerful. I appreciate that.
Yeah, one shot out of this from one text prompt with the web search turned on is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and there's no Bill Clinton in your prompt. It just kind of figured it out.
So that was the best use case. Yeah, overall, just like these were just kind of like detail style outputs. More of just a comparison, like this was a macro shot from Nano Banana, the original one. Here's Nano Banana 2. So a lot more detailed. On par, this was Nano Banana Pro.
Oh, Patek, wow. I don't think Pateks have a circular shape. Yeah, I'm kind of getting into watches. I can't afford a Patek. Those are like $50,000. But this is pretty impressive that it got the font right for the most part. And I think the watch dial itself, but I don't think it has exposed gears like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that center thing is real or like accurate. I mean, it says it here too. Let's see what I got. Fisherman portrait.
Not this guy again.
This was Nano Banana 1. This is Pro. This is 2.
I prefer Pro. You?
Yeah, Pro looks a little bit more realistic.
Realistic, but yeah. This has that tone map look.
Yeah, it looks like that kind of, that expanded HDR look, but still way better than Nano Banana 1.
Yes, I agree. So Nano Banana Pro is, I think, still by far quality-wise the one to beat, but Nano Banana 2 is more agile, connected to the internet, and is able to do has a few tricks up the sleeve that Pro does not have.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of stuff, I would probably now try Nano Banana 2, because it's like, if you could do it, and it's faster and cheaper, then what do I need to spin up Pro for if 2 can already handle it?
I think that's what Google wants you to do too, is because they probably uses less GPU, so it's cheaper for them on the inference side. That's my guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think the official product name is Gemini Image
Flash
3 Flash Lite or Flash. Yeah. Let me see. Text rendering. This was original Nano Banana. This is 2, and this is Pro.
Yeah. Pro is Closer, much closer. It has the chalk, like handprints from the chalk, but the two light bulbs are totally ruining it. I'm sure you can remove that. But yeah, okay.
And then what was this? You did another test where you took an actual image to do
I have a whole backstory, and I'm going to tie it to my theory. All right, so turns out I have a rat problem in my backyard. Like my neighbors behind my house, it's a dirty backyard, let's say. So they're probably coming over to my backyard. So I go to Home Depot, I pick up this rat poison. And
you didn't watch like Ratatouille and have like an appreciation for the rats.
I love I love Ratatouille. Don't like the rats. I love Remy. I saw a lot of examples of Google's latest product, which is called Pomeli or Photoshoot, that is really dialed in for user-generated content for marketing and commercials. So instead of, feeding it a really polished image of a product, you just take an iPhone photo of your product, and then you could generate campaigns with it, a bunch of things with it. So this is an iPhone-generated photo that I had in my phone. I ran it through Google Nano Banana 2, the new one. And if you go to the next image, my prompt was make a commercial for Decon rat poison where two rats are vacationing and they're drinking margaritas and they have this as a snack. And then at the bottom it says rats like the taste. So this is a fun, cute way. Look, kind of Ratatouille-esque, like make the rats look cute. And it did a decent job just based on, sort of from my initial photo. If you zoom in, the text is all correct. It even put those little bricks onto a bowl, like a snack bowl. Oh, I guess some of my other generations did, but yeah, it's right there.
But I mean, the bricks are displayed. It's got the little the lime that goes there. This is off center, but that's probably
and it has a tile top instead of a wood top. And then I prompt more of my prompt went into that bottom text. If you go, rats are spot on, dude.
Okay. No, I was looking at the rats because the rats look good, and even like their little rat fingers are gripping the martini. Yeah. The not martini, whatever that is. Margarita glasses. That stuff looks great.
So the rats like the taste. I said my prompt was bold font with a gradient and slight transparency. So I kind of like 90% nailed it. But the fact that I don't have to do a second pass in Photoshop to add that text, that's a huge plus. So my theory is that the Google Pomeli Photoshoot product is using Nano Banana 2 under the hood, which is really meant for user-generated content, specifically iPhone or phone-generated imagery as product reference. That's my theory.
That sounds like a good theory. I mean, it makes sense that, maybe they had Nano Banana 2 under the hood when they rolled out the Pomeli product. I'll go to the product page in a second. And maybe they rolled that out. They rolled that out last week, so maybe it was like a stress test and refine some stuff and then roll out Nano Banana 2 as the full product.
Yeah. So if I were to kind of segment markets, if I was at Google and I was looking at, go-to market, then I would say the Nano Banana Pro product is still geared for our world, for film, television, and high-end usage with high pixel count. Versus Nano Banana 2, which is better for high volume of content with imagery that may not come in perfect.
Yeah, and at the cost that it's priced at per image, that also makes more sense for e-com, where you're like, I need to do a bunch of product shots or variety or different markets and stuff, and so I need to I just want to make a lot of images. And so if it's more cost aware and cheaper, then that is a more appealing model.
Yeah, and Nano Banana 1, I think, is just so far behind now compared to these two models. I think they're eventually going to sunset that very soon to free up GPUs.
Yeah, there's really no sense to... I mean, it's slightly cheaper now, or like half the price of Nano Banana 2, but for the quality upgrade you're getting from Nano Banana 2, it's, I think, well worth it.
Right.
I would say, but also the only issue here too is just like as we zoom into the text, it starts falling apart. But you're doing this like in the Gemini app, correct? So you got the Gemini output, or did you use this somewhere else?
I think I used free pick. But I wouldn't expect a different result.
Were you doing 1K or were you doing 4K?
2K.
Because 2K. Okay. So also 2 can go up to 4K. So maybe if you did 4K, it would. I'm curious how it would do like the refillable word. It looks like refacali.
Yeah. Garbled it a little bit, but like the shape of the package is spot on, man. Like
I know. In this top part, it got it nailed, and the dead mouse.
Yeah, I mean, my photo's not the best, but it kind of recovered detail from it.
Your photo was like
It's blown
a weird
out.
angle with like glare. You tore the top off.
I was ready to kill those rats, you know? Like, crap.
Yeah. Get over here. No, this is a crazy demo. I mean, look, we're nitpicking at this image from like a year ago. You're like, here's a crappy iPhone photo of my product. Make me a good ad. And you got this, you'd be like, your head would explode.
Okay, exactly. And 2 years ago from today, or 3 years ago, the only way to make this would have been either in CG, you build a pool and put the rats on a patio chair and da-da-da-da, or you have a 2D artist come in and composite the entire thing. And now we can do it in seconds.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let me switch back to share. I'll share that. So yeah, here's the Pompeii.
Pompeii,
page.
yeah. I think it's just called photo shoots now. I'm not sure. Google's naming convention, man. You guys got to figure this out. But yeah, this is the product I'm talking about. It's basically like single image to full campaign automation, where it'll generate PDP, product detail photography, as well as product in situ in situations. And I think is able to then generate it in multiple formats. So 9:16, 16:9 aspect, whatever ratio. So I think it's going up right against Adobe's product called Gen Studio. So it's like two giant tech companies trying to figure out marketing automation.
That plus there were like a million startups that were also trying to do this. And I remember seeing all the posts like Google just destroyed a bunch of startups.
Yeah, and this is really like, now that I'm in the marketing world now and I'm trying to understand how they are operating, like this is putting a lot of fear into a lot of people's hearts. It's like, oh, do we need to exist as an agency anymore if somebody can just do this on their own?
If the brand themselves can like make thousands of assets with every variation of market and stuff that they would need in one go.
Yeah, I think to counter that, my response would be, of course, you still need an agency because it's not just about generating in quantity, right? Or generating multiple variations. It's about curation of the assets. It's about an overall creative arch and having targeted creative per region, and a lot of that expertise only exists in an agency.
Yeah, I mean, it's just maybe, I think you still need an agency. It's just the agency will probably be a lot smaller than it was in the past.
Yeah, and more specialized.
All right. Anything else on Nano Banana 2? Or
that's it for now.
I'm waiting now. I mean, if there's a Nano Banana 2, there's got to be a Nano Banana Pro 2 coming out at some point. So
you seem like a pro guy to me. You have a MacBook Pro.
Yes. Nano Banana
Pro. You're a pro editor.
Kling Pro. Final Cut Pro.
Seem like the pro guy.
Resolve. Yeah. Resolve this studio. Resolve. It doesn't do pro. All right. What do we got next? Okay. Let's talk about AI agents, my favorite thing. Okay. So yeah, we talked about OpenClaw a few weeks ago, and I'm still in my OpenClaw experiments, but we talked about how, like, and it was called ClaudeBot, and Anthropic's like, please don't call it that. And then he calls it OpenClaw, and then he gets hired by OpenAI. Meanwhile, Anthropic has not sat idly by. So they've been launching updates like every day this week, but they launched 3 updates specific that kind of tie into what OpenClaw is doing. One was remote control. So basically, if you spin up Claude code, it runs in terminal, and it's very powerful in what it could do, but it was sort of like you're kind of sandboxed into what you were doing on your computer. Now they have a remote control feature where you can run Claude code on your computer and then log into that session from any other web browser or your phone and continue or what you were doing on the computer. So if you're using Claude code as not for actual coding, but like as an assistant or giving it access to stuff on your computer, now that leap that a lot of people liked with OpenClaw, where you could kind of run it on your phone, now you can do that with Claude code. So that was like one feature that they added that was
So is it like an iOS app?
It's not an app. It's either, it basically, they already have the Claude iOS app. So now you could run your Claude code session on your iOS app, but you're basically still controlling the actual session on your computer. Yeah. You're just remotely connecting into it.
It's just much better than like WhatsApp.
It's basically the way OpenClaw works is it's running this thing on terminal on your computer that you're leaving it run all the time, and then you're porting in to talk to it either via terminal or WhatsApp or Discord. However, there's like a million options of how you can set up to talk to it. And a lot of people liked that feature of it where you could talk to your AI, your personal AI bot that's running on your computer via phone. So now with Claude Code, you could do the same exact thing without all of the extra OpenClaw setups. If like running an AI agent on your phone was like very appealing to you, now Claude added a feature where it's like super easy to do, and you don't have to do OpenClaw if that was one of the main reasons that attracted you to OpenClaw, was the phone thing.
So it's your very own agent that you're running at home, available to you everywhere you go.
Yes,
in a much more elegant package than like messaging it.
Kinda, yeah. It's still a very like specific use case if you were using Claude Code as an AI agent on your computer. Now you could talk to it. You don't have to be on your computer to talk to it. You could talk to it via your phone or another web browser.
Right.
That's one feature. The other features that they launched were memory inside Claude Code. So now there's better memory features, which was another thing with OpenClaw, where as you keep using it, it kind of remembers patterns and things that you like. So now that's also built into Claude Code. So sort of another feature overlap from OpenClaw. And then the last one was schedule tasks. This one's in Cowork, which is a separate product from Claude Code. It runs in the Claude desktop app, but it's sort of like Claude Code Lite, where it can still do things on your computer. But now you could schedule things to happen. So this is also the main thing that OpenClaw does under the hood that is like very simple but very powerful is it you can talk to it via sort of any other device. It's just a bunch of like markdown documents that set up its memory and instructions, but then it can also run cron tasks, which is just basically like a piece of code that runs at a specific time. And the cron thing is like old school and simple, but like actually really useful for AI agents, where you could just every morning have it be like, check my inbox, or like run an analysis on this, or just have these recurring tasks.
Stock market stuff.
Yeah, you can't do in Claude Code. You can't set up crons to like run in Claude Code. But now Claude added this feature in their Cowork product. And now it's just like another feature grab, like all these little things that were attracting people to OpenClaw. The trade-off being you're using this highly experimental product that can like go off the rails, is like one by one being added into Claude, added into Claude, added into Claude. So slowly, but well, not slowly, this is over a week. Quickly but surely, they are adding more and more features that kind of put it on par with some of the benefits people were getting out of OpenClaw. And Claude is, already like a much more refined and developed product.
Let's take a step back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I'm understanding is now that OpenAI acqui-hired the OpenClaw guy, and most likely OpenAI is going to re-release OpenClaw as a paid product, but way better and da-da-da-da. Claude is anticipating that competition, and now they're retrofitting Claude Code to compete with this upcoming thing in the future. Is that right?
Okay, so yeah, my understanding with them hiring Peter Steinberger, they didn't acquire OpenClaw. So OpenClaw is still an open source product.
Right.
He is still actively developing it. There is like a new update every 2 days for OpenClaw. So it's still actively developed and pushed. My vibe of that is just like OpenAI wanted to support it, hire him to keep developing it. And it's like if more people are using AI agents and are using OpenAI models, so that's good for OpenAI. I don't think they acquired that or are going to roll it into like being an OpenAI only product. I'm sure they're building something separate that has similar features that, would eventually roll out and be more, user-friendly for a wider market.
Yeah. So you think just, it's not like a walled garden per se. It's just like a really compelling integration.
I think the OpenClaw thing just sort of just awoken people to that, like people want some sort of like AI agents that are more integrated in their computer, smarter, kind of learn from them, powerful, and not piecemealing different little chatbot steps along the way, but something that's more holistic and integrated, and that the tech is getting there.
Microsoft missed the boat on this big time, right? Because I think
with like Copilot and stuff.
Yeah, Copilot was going to roll into Windows, and it was going to essentially take over your computer for whatever that means. And OpenClaw is that, right? I think it's Linux based. It's open source and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can kind of run it and integrate it into anything, at your own risk right now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, back to the other, the initial OpenClaw agent thing. So the other product launch that ties into that space is from Perplexity Computer. And so this is basically a virtual machine computer that can kind of connect to all like your email, all of your like web platforms, and you can spin up sub-agents, you can give it a task, recurring things. So it's sort of this like central virtual AI computer that can automate and connect to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So
it's only for the Max plan. I haven't really dabbled with it, but
they're all competing for that same same market, right? It's the local, kind of local thing that lives on your machine.
Well, this is web-based, so this like feels like it kind of lacks the appeal of OpenClaw because it's not on your system. I don't know if it has a local. It did. My impression was it was like a virtual machine, so I don't think it can connect to your local system. It can just connect to all of your cloud services. So it felt a bit like Manus, maybe like a little bit more powerful Manus. That could kind of spin up a virtual machine and do automated tasks that Metabot. So yeah, it's still in that same agent space and more powerful space, but I don't think it could do local computer stuff. But yeah, just another product launch into the world of I think AI agents unlocked a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're way ahead of this stuff than I am. Like you're experimenting with OpenClaw now, obviously. So yeah, you tell me and the viewers where you're at and how this world is evolving. Very curious to hear it.
So one of the bigger questions with OpenClaw has been terms of service and if you're allowed to connect OpenClaw to any of your subscription plans if you have like OpenAI Codex or Claude Max or Google's version, which I forgot what it's called. So once I connected it to, I switched from paying for API, which is really expensive, from Claude to, I tied it into my Claude Max plan. So it's using my same monthly subscription. So that's made it much more appealing. It has been debated. If there have been different stories of some people saying they got like booted off of Claude Max from using it, that it violated terms of service. But then some other people at Claude have posted on X saying that they just don't want people to use Claude Max for like business purposes, where like you would be using the API. But if you're using it for personal development or just kind of like app development or OpenClaw, that fits the use case. So far, fingers crossed, I have not gotten booted. Using it that way and not having to worry about like the daily cost of tokens has made it much more appealing. And it's been good for moving and consolidating some stuff that was already set up with like Zapier automations. It's streamlined that a lot more as far as like writing social media posts, a lot of the web articles and newsletter stuff. So it's been handling that. And I'm still, the next kind of phase is like something that could chop up these videos and turn them into shorts. That's been my next quest.
Yeah, speaking of which, and you're no stranger to Addy AI, Premiere gal who I follow on YouTube. She's probably the biggest Premiere influencer, if that's the thing. She had a big endorsement for Addy AI. She liked it a lot. So just thought I'd let you know that.
It's a good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was literally using it yesterday. They do a lot of updates, and it's gotten better. Even it gets better every week. I did ask him, I'm like, do you have API connections? He's like, it wasn't really on our map right now. Because my thought was like, if I could plug this into Addy AI, I could maybe help cut up some of the shorts. Right. But I don't think that tool would work. I'm looking at some other tools that might be able to help with that. But yeah, that's my goal with this is like if there's a AI agent that could kind of monitor social media and knows all of our videos and stuff and can like pull clips and post stuff and kind of learn from how they're received and then like learn the editing style and like improve on what clips it pulls. That's like my kind of goal project for this, of like a AI social media agent that could pull from our library of content and stuff.
That's an interesting goal. I like that.
Still in progress. So far, some stuff's working out well. Have not had all my emails deleted, so that's good too.
Run, unplug it.
So he did in one of the product updates. I think he put in an update that says if you say stop OpenClaw, then it will actually stop. like
a hard reset button or a stop button.
Like a hard kill switch.
Kill switch is still software. You need a hardware kill switch.
To explain this, there was someone who posted on X, who was also the Meta, one of the
chief safety officer or one of the top dogs at Meta. Yeah.
Gave OpenClaw access to her emails and was having it delete emails, which I also think is kind of crazy because I just would have it archived. But then it like forgot the context and just started deleting all of her
entire
emails.
Inbox, yeah.
And the only way she could get it to stop was to like unplug her computer.
She was running to it, literally. Yeah.
In the threaded replies, it says that like OpenClaw compacted the conversation and so forgot what it was doing. And that was why it went off the wall. That's why this stuff's experimental. So, be careful.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. 2 new model launches that I saw that were kind of interesting. One is Quiver AI. So, A16Z backed company that is focusing on generative
Vectors.
SVGs, vectors,
yeah, vector graphics.
Generative vectors. Their model is called Arrow 1.0.
Okay, that's great.
I think it's cool.
That's great.
Because, last week you turned me on to Reframe and I was messing around with that. And having AI vectors is like nice because you just don't have to worry about resolution.
Exactly. You can, and then you solve the print issue. So when things go into print, there is no, it's all splines and lines, right? At the end of the day. Yeah. I think the technical difficulty here was that image models work in the latent space and come out into pixels in the variational autoencoder. And then it goes to another step where the pixel space stuff is converted into vectors. Like that's how it's generally done. I think they may have solved that problem by going natively out of latent space into vector space, which is very novel and innovative.
Yeah, that stuff looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah. And for logos and things like that, you don't need like a bona fide Nano Banana Pro level image model. Like you're generating stuff that's abstract and, clip arty anyway.
Yeah. And a lot of times those logos that you spit out of like Nano Banana are just so over the top
complex.
And coordinate and crazy. Yeah. It's like doesn't really work.
That's why Ideogram is such a good model. Like it's dialed in for this kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then other model, there's a new video model called P Video from Pruna AI. And they're, I believe, one of the main European labs to ship a decent video model. And I've looked at some of the samples, I'd say it's on par with, I don't even know, like a LTX or WAN. But the main kind of things from this, the quality is pretty good, but what you get is like pretty fast generation at pretty low cost. So 10-second generation speeds for 5 seconds of 7020p video, 2 cents per second.
Hold on, did you say 10 seconds for a 5-second video? That's really impressive.
That's their posted rate. So it's fast. It's fast and cheap. And it has a draft mode for video, multimodal. It can do audio outputs and stuff. So overall, it's pretty good. Seems like a pretty solid model. I was trying to look at some of the test clips. They have a lot of animation stuff with speaking characters. So I always like to throw this stuff on the radar because depending on what project you're working on, some models might be great for it.
I call this like the preview window model, stuff like this. We absolutely need it. When you're ideating and you want to do it with videos and small animatics and things like that, you don't want to wait 5 minutes. 10 seconds is perfect. And then just keep rolling the dice and it's cheap and it's going to...
Speed, that's the big trade-off with Nano Banana Pro. And when I'm thinking back to our LoRa reference showdown, like Z-image quality wasn't on par, but like seeing the speed of stuff coming out, I'm just like, that's actually pretty nice. Like, how can I incorporate some of that into the workflow? Because just being able to like iterate and not have to wait around 30 seconds or a minute is, it gets taxing.
Yeah, and multiple sessions, multiple tabs doesn't really solve the problem because you're still waiting a few minutes per session.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Speed is good.
Speed kills, man.
All right. Good place to wrap it up. Links to everything talked about at denoisedpodcast.com.
Hey, you remember I talked about the YouTube high points? Well, give us a couple of high points. Actually, I think 750 is the minimum that you can give us. That seems to really help boost our videos on YouTube. So yeah, it's on the app. If you go to the bottom and scroll to the right, you'll see a little party icon. I think that's the hype icon. Give it a go.
Thanks for explaining that, because I don't know what 750 hype points are.
It's a new thing YouTube rolled out. It's like you can like a video or you can hype a video.
All right, hype it up. Thanks everyone. We'll catch you in the next episode.